What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. In this one, I might sound a little bit different, and that's probably because I'm in a completely different setup. I'm in the other side of the world, to be honest, and I have to talk a little bit quietly to not be rude to other people in this house. But this is the ASMR video. Today we're going to be talking about F1 Esports. Basically, just some improvements, just how we can make the show better. I've attended the second esports round in London, thanks to my old mates at Fanatec Esports and Sauber Esports. So thanks to those guys for inviting me out. I didn't really record all too much, really, because you can't really, you don't really add anything to the to what you would have already seen in the broadcast itself. So I've got a few driver reactions here and there, so I might throw those in. But first off, just want to say, what a turnaround from our team from Sauber. Sally Saltung just coming in clutch in the final two races, getting third at Silverstone. Then got a penalty for some reason, so he got demoted to 6th or 7th, which was pretty silly. And then in Spa, he managed to just about pit Brendan Lee, finishing at the exact same time. So shout out to him and his brother, Sonic, for doing a good job and reclaiming some points in the Constructors. But yeah, the point of this video is really just to talk about improvements. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter just talking about, how it could be better. I've even had people just come up and ask me, people who run the show, how can we improve? And I just thought I'd address it in a video once I've had some time to really process and think about it. And I've got a few points that I want to bring up now. So yeah, when I put it out on Twitter, and I've also taken a bit of inspiration from Veloce Limitless, who also asked this question, so I'll leave a link to his channel and his Twitter in the description below, and hopefully he brings up a lot of the same points that I do. That would really help, improve the show, shall we say. Even though the show itself, the racing, is absolutely amazing, there are some things we can change to the format and just some other things that could really enhance it further. But a lot of people were talking about bringing in reverse grid races, why is it 25% races, why isn't it longer races? Those were the two main criticisms that a lot of the fans have of the whole F1 Esports show, so that's something that I want to address as well. So in terms of format changes, these are two things that I would love to see come into the F1 Esports series, is we kind of cater to both in a way. Currently, in any given round, we normally have 3 races in a night. One is done kind of off the live stream, which is, a little bit weird to me, that we go into this event and we already know where everyone is finished, and it's just like a highlights package. For me, that takes away from that first race. It doesn't make sense. So, let's say we scrap that race altogether and we just have 2 races for the weekend, for the day, one of them being a 50% race. So that'll be the first one, and that one can be like the feature race, if you will, where you award full points or maybe even double points. I'm not too sure. So we do a full qualifying for that, as we normally do, and we go through the race, and then we have a second race after, later on in the night, and this can be like the climax, shall we say, where this is like the anticipation where everyone tunes in to see this race that's after it. Now, this is going to be a 25% sprint race, but it also is going to be reverse grid. So we take the results from the first race, the 50% race, where you get a whole lot of strategy, you get a lot of good racing, and people who are good over the course of a longer stint can really come into it. You kind of get pretty good and genuine results there, and you get a lot of points. And then we have this sprint race, the one that everyone kind of looks forward to, is this 25% race, which we're already, quite familiar with in the F1 Esports format. But yeah, we make it reverse grid. But, in order to not make it a farce, maybe we award just half points, or half the amount of points that was awarded in the first race, for example. So, you could look at it that way. For me, I'd like to see it, just consider it, maybe have a think about it. I mean, if, we're going to implement some pretty radical format changes in F1, F1 Esports is kind of like the place to try it without risking millions and millions of pounds worth of damage to cars and whatever. You just test and see if it works there, because, there are some elements that can convert over from the game to real life. So it would be interesting to have a go at. Now, other things that could be improved just to make the broadcast a little bit better. A few people, brought this up on Twitter and said to me as well, is why don't we include the formation lap before the race starts? We're normally just talking, well, we've got the commentators talking and looking at different screens, and then all of a sudden we're thrown into this race without even any warning. It would be really nice to have the formation lap there just to build a little bit of tension. I like to do it in my career mode races, to be honest. You get to see everyone warming up the tyres, and it's just like real life. So why can't we see the formation lap before the start of the race? Other things, qualifying never gets shown for the F1 Esports. I don't know why. We just get thrown into these races and we are like, okay, Fabrizio Donoso is on pole, which I don't think that's ever happened. Sorry, Fabrizio. But, yeah, it's like, we don't get to see the fastest qualifiers don't really get to showcase what they're worth in qualifying. It's just a bit weird. Can it not be like live streamed as it's happening at the start of the day? That's normally when the qualifying takes place in the afternoon, and then the race is at night. I'm not too sure. And speaking of streaming, why is it only streamed on Facebook? Facebook. I'll be honest, I'm quite savvy when it comes to social media platforms, and Facebook is at the bottom of my list. To me, it's a dead platform. Like no, thank you. Sorry, there are so many better streaming platforms out there. You've got Twitch, which is huge, absolutely huge for streaming, and YouTube as well. Both of those two platforms are amazing for discoverability. Facebook, I really don't think that's the right platform. Yeah, sure, you can keep streaming to Facebook, but don't make it the only platform you can stream to other than the official Sky Sports F1 channel. It makes no sense to me. If you're on Facebook, you're just a casual, maybe F1 fan, you might see it there. But literally, you'll scroll past it on your feed, look at it for 2 seconds, go, and then keep going. That's what most people will do. So it's not good for retaining viewers. There's such a short attention span for Facebook, and I just don't understand why that's the route that they've taken. I don't know if there's some kind of deal with Facebook or what, but I really hope that gets changed and YouTube and Twitter can really come into their own for the broadcasting rights or whatever it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it from me. One other small gripe I have is the penalties for pit lane speeding are pretty harsh. I think it's like 10 or 15 seconds, which, if you do that, it's such a small mistake to make. So easy to do when you're attacking the pit lane. Happens so commonly. You get a 15-second penalty and you're out of the race. Like, you're not even going to get points. It's so silly. Such a huge penalty for something that's so minor. I'd like to see that reduced down to 5 seconds, like we see just in regular online racing. I think that's fair enough. That's enough of a penalty. The field is so close anyway in F1 Esports. The 5 seconds is going to be a huge detriment to your race anyway. But that's my thoughts. Very quick video. Yeah, just thought I'd throw it out there. That's my, kind of gripe so far with the F1 Esports series, but that's really about it. I'm really just kind of clutching at straws. The racing, the production value is top class, I've got to say. They do a really good job of making it a true spectacle. Just a few of these minor changes could make things even better than what they already are. So let me know what you think. If there's any improvements you'd like to see, put them down in the comments. I'll be there for the F1 Esports final on November the 17th, so be sure to check that out. Sky Sports F1 and Facebook. Bloody Facebook. Thanks for watching. Until the next one, I'll see you next time.